Good evening, good evening, good evening. We're back.
Back again for another video.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we both been in a video together, but I decided to go ahead and hop back on and ask Hamilton if you wanted to get on the video because today was a very challenging day at work for me. And and I know that me keeping it together had a lot to do with how I live my life, how I, keep the creator first and myself first, and I make sure that I take care of my mind, body, and spirit, and have it in balance as much as I can. Um, and I, and one of those things is definitely what I eat and what I incorporate into my diet. And a lot of times we don't think about how the foods we eat, or even, and when I mean eat, not just what you put in your mouth, but things you watch on TV, the things you listen to, the things you put on your skin. That's important too. You don't realize sometimes how toxic things can seep into your body and make you react to things that in ways that you may not want to, or you may be more stressed out, or your emotions may go up and down. But one thing that I can say, when I transitioned from a standard American diet to a diet that was plant-based, where I was just eating, well, not eating any animal product, just mostly fruits, vegetables, and um, of course, at that when I was eating cooked food, of course, we had pasta and rice and quinoa and all that other stuff that you can eat that's cooked, and different vegetables, and that's better to eat cooked versus raw or whatever, because your body needs to be able to digest the food. But when I was eating more plant based, I did realize how much more balanced I felt. And when I started eating raw, I really saw a huge shift, because eating foods in its most natural state, um, you really, one of my mentors, our son, sister Nubia. She says that that's a direct connect to the source when you eat foods that are connected to the earth, because we are nature in our most simplest form. And when we eat things that are connected to nature, which is fruits and vegetables, we are more likely to be more of that state. So you tend to pay more attention to the trees, to the animals. You just feel more calm, more connected to people too. So sometimes when you're clogged up with toxic things, you're not thinking about that. I mean, I know I wasn't thinking about that. I don't know about anybody. I can't speak for anybody else, but one thing that I can say is that I handle stress way better now. You know, and it makes you think about, a lot of times when you're in a situation at that moment, you could be like, oh my goodness. And sometimes, even for me, it triggers. Sometimes I feel urges to eat things that I don't desire to eat now, but the craving comes back. And that's how you know that um that a lot of times what triggers you to eat certain things is emotional things, you know. So sometimes you may want to eat something salty, or you want to eat something sweet, and that's connected to, if you want to eat something sweet, that means maybe want some love, or salt, maybe some anger, crunchiness, maybe some anger or whatever. So it's really interesting to think about that. So when I was in my high stress situation, it wasn't really, I mean, I can handle my job. It's just that, how sometimes you're just in a place, and you know that you can be doing something better, that your talents, that your passions can be utilized in a better way. And you're like, I'm here dealing with this BS, and you're just thinking about it, but you're still getting doing your work the best you can, because well, for me, I'm still an employee, so I have to do my work and be professional about it. But I think about how today I didn't think about eating like something really sweet today. And I was very proud of myself, because normally when I get stressed out, I want to eat something sweet, Or back when I used to eat cooked foods, I would want to go to Capriati's. And for those of you who knows what Capriati's is, it's like a sub place. Or for those of you who don't know, it's like a sub place. And they have vegetarian options. So I used to always tell my husband when I had a long day, I was like, "Can we get some Capriati's?" And a lot of times it was because I love subs, and that's what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I thought about it. I was like, even though I was so over it when I came home, I thought about what I put in my body today, and I'm proud of myself. And I had my oranges today. I had my salad today for pate, which is with nuts. It's like a filler. It's like a meat substitute or whatever. Like it reminds you like a chicken tuna, but it's not really chicken. It's like sunflower seeds or whatever. But I had that today. And then I came home. My husband Hamilton, he cooked. I mean, he prepared salad and pate, and that's what was my food today. And even though I'm a little, like a little, no, I am annoyed. Even though that's the case, it's still good to be in an environment. Our home is very peaceful, very chill or whatnot. And it's very one thing. My mom was here yesterday, and she said, "Your house is quiet all the time, isn't it?" I was like, "Yes." It's very peaceful, and so it's good to go into a house and it's just relaxed. And you could sometimes, and that's how you know that outside things can some affects your household, because when you walk into your house and your house has a completely different energy to what you're feeling outside. So it's just that's why it's so important, it's so imperative that we take care of ourselves and that we make sure that we are, nurturing ourselves, and that we are loving ourselves by putting things in our body and being around people that are high vibrational and positive, and that are encouraging us to do the best for ourselves, you know. And when I tell people that the food thing is so important, that food thing is critical. Man, I just think of
Couple,
my
couple points that I want
yeah.
to, I want to hit on. I think it's definitely important for you to both, for the man and the woman, to both be practicing the best out that they can, because sometimes when the person comes home and the person's feeling stressed, you can say, "All right, husband, all right, wife, I know you had a stressful day, but let me give you a hug, let me give you a kiss, let me give you a back rub." And that makes all the world of difference, because there's been times where the significant others came home and it's like, "What's wrong with you? You had a strong day at work. Well, I did too. So but it's not that. It doesn't need to be like that. It needs to be like, okay, you had a stressful day at work. Tell me about it. You had a stressful day at work. Give me a hug. You had a stressful day at work. Give me a kiss. Let's share some love right now." And that helps with the situation. And also, like she's saying, with the foods are so critical, because a lot of times we're eating these foods, but we don't know where the foods come from. We don't know who made them. They come from people who are experiencing all types of pain, all types of trauma, and they're touching
Hmm.
your food. And it's like, think about that. It's like, would you let a murderer watch your child? So why would you let someone
Hmm.
who is stressed out on drugs prepare your food at the fast food restaurant, or grow your vegetables? So it's like we have to be cognizant of these type of things. These things are very important. So even the fact that last year we had a garden, we grow a couple fruits and vegetables, but just the fact of growing your own food and growing your own vegetables, picking them yourself and eating them, it has a totally different feel, a totally different vibration, a totally different love. You eating those things, like, wow. We grow. It takes you're prideful in what you've grown. You're prideful in what you did. Also, it feels way different from anything you buy at the grocery store, including the Whole Foods and that of the world. So I think it's important to be mindful not only of who you're around, your household environment, but who's preparing your foods, where you're getting your
Hmm.
foods, and who's touching the food, because like all that has an effect. And it's like these are things we don't typically think about, but they're so important.
Yeah, that's so true. That's a good point about the preparation of your food, because I definitely feel energy within the food, and especially when you start eating more, plant based or whatnot, you start to get more sensitive to the types of foods. So some of the things that you may have been able to eat before, you may not be able to eat after you've been eating, I guess some people say more clean or more healthier or whatever like that. But it's definitely, you definitely feel a difference. Because I know for me, even when you're preparing food, that's why I feel like it's so imperative. Like when you prepare your food, you make sure that you're in a good space when you make food. Like make sure you don't have to feel like you're being rushed or anything like that. Because I know for me, when I prepare food, I like to take my time. I don't like to be rushed or whatnot like that. Because you can feel the love when somebody prepares food. When it's just, you can just feel the love when it's like, I can't even explain it. I guess the best way to explain it is like when me and or him make food, or we make food together, and people eat the food and then they'll be like, wow, I feel so much better. That's, to me, that was like, wow, I didn't realize. You don't It's just amazing seeing somebody else saying that, you know what I'm saying? Or like one of my girlfriends, I remember she said to me, she said my stomach wasn't hurting. My stomach was hurting before I came, to your house or whatever. But when I ate your food, I realized after the fact that I felt better. To me, that's what it's all about. It's about, making sure that you are, creating things that connect people. You're creating things that show love. You're creating things that, I don't know, that just brings people together. So to me, that is just very imperative. And I feel like we all have the power to make changes, and we all have the power to heal ourselves, and that we don't have to feel stuck in things and situations and stuff like this. This is why, I come on here and I share. This is why we both come here and we share, especially within the Black community. I just feel like it's so imperative, because I know for me, and I know there's a lot of other people can relate to having family members who pass away or who are sick because of different heart diseases or having diabetes and things like that. And you just get fed the lies that, you just have to deal with having those things, and you just have to deal with going to having surgeries and taking this medication and all this stuff, when you don't have to do that. We do have the power to heal ourselves. We just have to believe that we do. We have to break free from those barriers that, society's put on us, and that we learn through, from childhood onwards. So that's the biggest thing. But yes, that energy thing, that's big. I definitely feel that.
Another thing I want to comment on: a lot of things that we believe are food is really not really food. It's like I said, there's a book out. It's called "Drugs Masquerading as Foods," and I think a lot of times just because things are so sold in grocery stores and sold in convenience stores and then we consume them, we believe, okay, this is food. But really, you have to look at what's your definition of food. Is it nourishing to my body? Is it nourishing to my spirit? Would it help me, get through my day as far as energy level, or is it dealing with some type of craving or some type of emotion? Is it feeding that? What is it feeding? It's the type of question you want to ask yourself, because a lot of times we eat these things, but it's out of habit, it's out of addiction. It's not really out of, oh, eating this for nutrients, or I'm eating this
Mhm.
for my vitality, or I'm eating this because, it's just a quality, enjoyable meal, or it's hydrating. These type of things why you want to eat certain things, not because, oh, it's been marketed to me on TV, or this famous athlete is eating this food. It's like, nah, that's not a reason why you should consume things. So you want to think about, why you're eating the things that you are eating.
Mhm. I definitely agree with that. So that's pretty much it. What I have to say. Do you have any
No,
more to
that's
say?
it. There's some good
But
points.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to. Well, we both wanted to share for now. So thank you so much for watching, and you can follow us on YouTube at Infinite Nature, or you can go on Facebook at Infinite Nature, and also Instagram too. I'm on Instagram at Neptune Mind, or you could go on Tumblr at Nature too. We're on Infinite Nature as on we're at no, we're on Tumblr as Infinite Nature. So see you guys later. Have a great evening.